Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. Today has been pretty disastrous. Bitcoin only slightly bad, but everything, especially XRP, has been disastrous. So Admiral J. Clayton has torpedoed and sunk Shipchain. He is now having the HMS XRP in his crosshairs, and the FinCEN has basically attacked private wallets. So which cryptos are actually safe? Which cryptos should you think about? I know Theta and those other and ZIL are up, but realistically, those aren't actually safe cryptos because they do not have an exception from the SEC and they could sue them. Neither is any ERC20 coin like Chainlink. It's a good project, not safe. They don't have a no action letter. So which cryptos are safe? There are only a couple. Bitcoin is safe. Ethereum is safe. Those two were the first ones covered. The SEC basically had said they are not securities. So I think those investments are safe. Plus, those investments are proof of work coins. And even though I really don't like the technology behind proof of work, the argument is that the distribution of proof of work is a lot more decentralized than coins minted out of thin air. Because the creators of those coins did not actually just create a bunch of coins and then give them to themselves. They actually had to be mined throughout time. Whereas the creator are people who created the coins out of thin air or kept them in XRO or give them to themselves, they are considered more centralized in distribution. The validators might be decentralized, but the distribution is very centralized because they just basically created a bunch of coins out of thin air, gave them to themselves, and then used the proceeds of those sales to actually fund the company. And that is a lot like a stock issue. Now, there's the Howey test and all this other stuff, and are they actually security or not? I'm not actually sure. That's what the lawsuit is actually fighting over right now. I give it like 50-50 on which side's going to win because the Ripple has a lot of good lawyers, but the SEC hardly ever loses these courses. They're like over 90% on these courses, on these cases actually. So it's very hard to say who will actually win. They both are pretty strong in terms of legal terms. Ripple has an awesome lawyer team. The SEC has a great track record on pursuing these type of cases. And obviously, this affects all the other coins because they can just sue any other coin if they win this lawsuit. So I'm not cheering for the SEC on this lawsuit. Regardless of what you think about Ripple or XRP, you should not be cheering for them. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are safe. Are ERC20 tokens safe? No, ERC20 tokens are not safe. They're probably more likely to be labeled securities than anything else because they're essentially just tokens you raise to raise funds via ETH. So even though ETH is safe, ERC20 tokens are not safe. BNB is definitely not safe. Now, Bitcoin forks might actually be safe because they have the same argument as BTC. The people who actually mine BTC actually got money off those forks, actually have the distribution on those forks as well. So those forks, because they're forks off BTC, they will be fairly well distributed as well, almost pretty much as well distributed as BTC. And you can't say the makers of those coins actually gave themselves all the coins that they had just forked off of. That usually doesn't work. So Bitcoin forks like Litecoin are somewhat protected. Plus like BTC, LTC, BCH, they're actually on PayPal. So that does kind of signal that they have some regulatory clearance. So BTC, ETH, LTC, BCH, they might have some regulatory safe haven there. There's two other coins that could actually be safe. One would actually be EOS. Now, I'm not a huge fan of EOS, but they do have a non-action letter from the SEC. Remember, like last year, they did get fined by the SEC for something like $24 million. And then they basically got a non-action letter from the SEC. Now, EOS's case was very different from XRP's because EOS's case, the SEC was only suing them for their ERC20 tokens. By the time the SEC sued them, they were no longer using the ERC20 tokens. They had converted to the EOS tokens. And those tokens, the SEC did not really sue them over. So it's, whereas XRP, they're essentially suing them for all the ongoing tokens because they were never ERC20 before. So basically all the tokens are under scrutiny in the XRP case, so you can't really compare the two. But EOS might be safe because they have a non-action letter from the SEC. The other one is going to be a little bit weird, but it is a coin that I actually have, and it is Kin. Kin might be safe because they got sued by the SEC for pretty much the same reason, and they lost, but the SEC basically just slapped them on the wrist with a $5 million fine and said, hey, you can do what you want, just tell us when you actually do it. So Kin for the time being is actually safe, and that's probably why it's skyrocketing up in price. So that is kind of like what's safe right now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, BCH, BSV they didn't really include on the PayPal thing, so I'm not really sure if it's safe or not. I don't really like BSV anyways. And then EOS and Kin. Those six look pretty decent to me. The others, any of them could actually be attacked by the SEC. The ones that aren't based in the U.S. and whose most partners aren't U.S. based, they're probably likely to fare a little bit better, honestly, because the SEC does not stretch outside the United States. So if all their operations are, say, in like Czechoslovakia, the SEC doesn't really have jurisdiction. Ripple's actually based in the United States, and so is Shipchain. So those coins that are based in the United States that are basically pre-minted are going to be probably hit the hardest. And then like those 6 I mentioned, BTC, ETH, LTC, BCH, EOS, and CAN look to be safer than the rest. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.